Diary, hello, it's March 2021 and today I'm going to be talking about running lights and trail running lights and why you might need a particular type of running light. Now I would say, standing back, that it depends what you're going to be using the light for, but I would say that although we do a lot of road running and trail running and competitions when available, it's got to the point now that we don't ever carry a torch. The lights in front of you would probably be what we would use instead of a torch if we were just going out for a quiet walk, for example. And I think that's an increasing trend. So if you're a beginning runner or an experienced runner, you might have started to buy trail lights or running lamps, and this video is really posing questions more than answers. And there'll be some follow-on videos about new technology and what we've selected. But in front of you, you can see 4 trail running lights or road running lights. And again, I'm going to be asking the questions and posing a few answers. So what is a trail running light? Well, it's such as is in front of you. It's a strappable on your head lamp, which has a lamp at the front and optionally, perhaps, a red light at the back. One of the big things you're going to be looking at is lumens of output, and there are various different claims that are thrown around. Suffice to say that if you get something that's about 500 lumens, that's very, very bright. And for just walking around, I think you could be done with, let's say, 100 lumens. So the light output of a light is a fundamental, and the cheaper the light, the more outrageous the claim. I have just looked on Amazon for £25. Apparently I can get a 6,000 lumen light. I wouldn't really like to suggest that's very realistic. So, okay, we've got 4 lights in front of you. Light output is the first question you want to be looking at. How much light output do you actually need? I've given you a quick guideline. Let's say 100 lumens is a pretty decent output for walking and trail running. 500 would be for serious trail runners. The next topic is weight. So, of course, if weight wasn't a consideration, you could literally have your 6,000 lumen light with a massive battery. But guess what? The longer you wear a heavy light for, the more uncomfortable it's going to be. So, for example, you'll see that 2 of these lights, in fact, this is my trail running master light, this is my trail running backup, this is my partner's trail running master light, and this is her backup. So if you see, these lights here have got a strap that goes across the top of the head. And the reason they've got this strap is to balance out the weight. Now these lights on the front there are roughly about 200 grams. So let's just prove that, because again, weight I think is a critical factor. Okay, so that is not 588 grams. Let's zero that. Start again. Yes, that's almost dead on 200 grams, 196 grams. And my partner's light is, 156, so it's advantageously light. So weight is a big factor. And this lamp here is just over 100 grams. I personally find that anything over 100 grams, just over 100 grams, is about the limit you'd want to have for the weight of a front-only light. So these 2 lights are lightweight, but they don't produce as much light power, and their battery life is shorter. So weight is the next thing you need to consider. The third thing I would look at would be battery technology. So you might think that you're always going to want a rechargeable battery, because then you can just go recharge it and you don't have to buy new dry-cell batteries. But there are some reasons why that's not true. So let's look at this. This is a Petzl Now light, NAO. There's a newer one called the Now Plus. I mean, this is at least 4 years old now. It takes a proprietary battery, but it's a rechargeable battery. So you undo this, okay, and then you undo this, and then you've got a battery that you can just plug into. This is a USB type A, and just plug into a standard, well in our case, in our house, all power sockets have got USB sockets, so just plug it into our wall USB socket. and charge it up. So this is it was when I bought it, about a £200 lamp, and it's very well thought out. So this has got a rechargeable battery. This, my partner's light, has got a dry cell battery only. So this takes 3 AA batteries, whereas this takes 3 AAA, the smaller batteries. So you don't always want a rechargeable lamp, and the reasons are the following. If you do an endurance race, they are likely to say that you're going to need a lamp plus batteries, and they're going to check that at race start and possibly check it at race end. If you don't have those items, you're going to be you won't be able to start the race, and if you finish the race without them, you'll be disqualified. So it's often the case that they might say, well, we want you to have a lamp, and we need to see 1 set of batteries. So in this case, I would have to buy this proprietary. They do sell an entire battery unit, but it's about £50 just for this unit. And guess what? If you open this up, it's based on a standard battery technology, but they add an electronics card to the back of the battery, and you can't usually buy that battery plus the electronics card separately. So you can't retrofit this in the middle of a race with your own battery. So that's a bit of a screw up. So there are reasons, for example, on endurance races why you're going to need to have a lamp with dry cells. Again, I'm dead against proprietary batteries where they rip you off. So this is an example of a brilliantly designed lamp, a Petzl Now lamp, with a very expensive battery compartment. It does apparently have the ability to take dry cells, but if you've ever tried it, it's just absolutely hopeless. And that brings me on to another point, which is that sometimes they'll manufacture a lamp and they'll say, oh yes, well, you can fit a dry cell if this rechargeable cell runs out. But if you actually try doing that in a race, perhaps it might be windy, it might be raining, it might be very bad elements out there, you'll find it between difficult and impossible. This Petzl lamp here is a rechargeable lamp, but you can take off this component here and you can actually replace it. You can replace the rechargeable battery with a holder for 3 AAA batteries. And as an emergency, that might be okay. But this lamp has got slightly better pricing on the rechargeable batteries. So what you could do for a longer race, and let's say it's a 24-hour race, of which, let's say you're going to have 8 hours in the dark, you would be able to, this battery doesn't last for 8 hours, you need 2 batteries. You might be able to carry 2 dry cells, so 2 rechargeable batteries. And a last point about batteries is that you'll see here there's a battery indicator. You can see how much battery life you've got left. So particularly useful if you're running in a team, or yourself and your partner, you're doing a long endurance race. You can see how much battery life is left. Very useful. The next thing will be what type of light beam you've got. Now, for a long time, lights were just a simple circuit where you had a battery and a lamp, and that's what this is. And this is a very simple but superb product. It's an old petrol head torch. It's superb because it's very simple. Like I said, the battery, there's the lamp. There's a cover here which flips you between wide beam and focused beam. Okay? And then a few years ago, Petzl came up with this great idea. I wouldn't say they were just trying to make money, because it does have some advantages, which is, why not make a super duper lamp called the Now, which has got a depth sensor and 2 different beams. So one is going to be a wide beam, or a close-up beam. One's going to be a sort of pinpoint beam. So you can see here we've got 2 different beams, and we've got a depth sensor here. So the idea is this lamp is that it can detect whether you're looking, let's say, down at your feet, or in a mountainside and you need some close wide light, or you want a longer light, and it can switch between the 2 or have a combination of both. So it starts to get quite complicated as to what kind of light technology you want. Again, if you're just going out for a stroll in the evening, none of this is going to be relevant to you. But if you are going to do a race, and let's say a long distance race, then these things start to become important. And I think when you start off running, you might just buy a cheap or cheaper Petzl lamp like this. I wouldn't recommend a no brand lamp. You spend a small amount of money, and then as you start to get more experience, you think, you know what? I need a lamp that does this. I need a lamp that lasts longer. I need a lamp that has different beams for different environments and competitions. So we've talked about the different beam technology. That was a breakthrough technology for Petzl. I wouldn't say many other manufacturers have taken up on it, but it certainly does make for better battery life. And this guy, believe it or not, this is the older version of the lamp. This plugs into a PC, and using a program which you load onto your PC, you can program the actual amount of wide beam and focus beam lamp. And you can set different profiles up in here. So you can say profile 1 is 100% long beam and 10% wide beam, and profile 2 is something different. So it's very flexible, but very expensive. The other thing I would remark upon is constant light output. So with a simple light technology like this lamp, the light is just going to be based on the battery voltage and the resistance of the light bulb. And over time, the battery voltage goes down, and your light sort of goes from bright to less and less and less and less and less and bright, and then to dim. So Petzl came up with a better idea, which is to have constant light output. So this lamp, for example, which is a ticker RXP, I believe, has constant light output technology. So what with the constant light technology, you get constant light output, and then all of a sudden it just drops off like a stone. And the idea is that you want constant light output. You don't want a lamp that's bright and then gets steadily dimmer, because you want a specific light output that you can run to. Otherwise, you'll get to a point where the light output is just not bright enough to run anymore, but the lamp is still working. So Petzl came up with that idea, which is constant light output. Another topic is construction. So what you can find is you have a light that is very well constructed. It's waterproof, but it could be heavy. So it's kind of a balance between all these different factors. So the Petzl now, again, is a classic light. It is very robust. It's a kind of lamp you can use on a long competition, say even a 48-hour competition, and you can be confident this thing has very low likelihood of breaking. It's very robust, it's waterproof, everything works. It's designed to be operated when perhaps you are a little dazed and tired. So the battery replacement, the controls of the lamp, they're very easy to use. If you were doing a short race that went through the night, which say let's have a 3 or 4 hour dark segment, then you could get away with a much more lightly constructed light, which wouldn't be the now, for example. But for a longer race, or when you're dizzy and you're tired, it's maybe peeing down with rain, you might like something that's very simple to operate, which again, this lamp is also very simple to operate, but it's dry cells. Another thing you might notice is that this lamp has got a red LED on the back. That's just a clip-on light, which I've fitted to the back of this lamp. And that's because on some races, you are now required to have not just a front light, but a rear flashing red light. So you can be a signal to other runners, and you can actually use it to stop other runners that are colliding into you, or that they know where you are, etc. So increasingly, you need a red light at the back for serious competitions, and the Now Plus version now integrates the red light in the back of the battery pack here. So that's quite clever. And also the Now Plus, by the way, is Bluetooth connected, so you can actually fiddle around with your smartphone and change the lamp setting with a lot of ease, because doing this and connecting it to a PC is a complete and utter pain. I think we've sort of covered the majority of factors there, so I'll just go over them again. So there's the light output. Do you want a strong light or a weak light? There's the weight. If it's over 100 grams, you probably want something with a balanced construction, which has got a head strap here, so that you can balance the battery at the back and the lamp at the front. What kind of battery technology do you want to use? Do you want to have rechargeable batteries because you're just going out on a club run or a run that's going to take a few hours? And of course, this battery will last, I think it lasts, on the max setting that I've got here, this will last 3 hours. So if I go out for a 3 hour run, I can be an absolutely blinding 500 lumens plus lamp output, and this is fine. Or if I'm in a competition that needs backup batteries, I might need to have this lamp because it can take dry cells, and I can carry and demonstrate at race check-in that I've got those dry cells. Do you want constant light output, which makes best use of your battery, so that the light output is constant, and then when it just can't manage anymore, it's just going to drop off? That makes better use of the batteries. And what kind of construction do you want? Do you want a simple construction? Again, if you're just going out for a walk or a small little run with your friends, it's probably not important. You can say to your friend, I'm going to stop, I need to adjust my lamp. In a race, you might be tired, you might be dizzy, it's 40 hours, you're maybe a little dehydrated, you just want to put your lamp on. You don't want to have to think about the lamp. And in that case, you want something that's easy to use. So here's a Petzl now, for example. So I know I've rambled on quite a long time, but I hope that covers the lamp basics. I'm going to do another video with the latest lamp in our stable, which is not shown here, and explain why that's a step forward in lamp technology. Okay, Darry, speak to you later.